It's the battle of the A5 devices, the Supernote A5 by Ratta on the left, and the brand new 2020 Fujitsu Quaderno A5 on the right. How do they stack up? Let's check it out. One thing about this competitor matchup is that they have the two most beautiful styli or styluses on the market right now. We'll start with the Supernote. They have a very specific line called the Heart of Metal, where everything's made out of metal. This thing is very heavily weighted, it's very nice, and it resembles a pen. And that is because it is basically a pen. It's an all-metal design. You can put the cap at the back. This one is the blue one. And the tip is, again, they're the only company doing this. This is an all-ceramic nib. You will never have to replace the nibs, although they do sell replacement Wacom canisters that you can put into this device simply by opening this up and taking the canister out. So it is advantageous in that way that you do have that option. This is an all-ceramic nib, so you never actually have to replace it. This is a very, very nice pen. Although it doesn't have an eraser button or anything like that, it is one of the highest quality pens on the market. The Fujitsu is using an amazing pen as well. Again, it's an all-metal design, very nicely weighted. This one is actually powered by a lithium-ion battery. You do have to charge it, but you don't have to charge it that much. The battery is tiny, so it actually charges in about 10 minutes and it's fully charged for weeks. They have a variety of nibs, including carbon graphite, palm, felt, plastic, a whole bunch of different nibs. It's an all-metal design with a magnetic snap on the side that attaches to the side of the device. This one also has some of the highest amount of features of any stylus on the market. It has an eraser button and a highlight button. The nibs are removable. The thing is very nice. It comes with a stylus loop and a magnet. It's actually one of the most capable pens on the market, and it sure is different than that standard black plastic Wacom pen that basically everyone gives you. Onyx, Boyu, Jezitech, MobiScribe, Netronics, everyone uses the same stylus, but Supernote and Fujitsu are definitely doing things differently. Neither the Fujitsu nor the Supernote have any sort of home screen whatsoever. Your home screen is essentially a list of your documents, or essentially whatever page you're on. For example, on the Fujitsu, if you tap the top button, this is what you get. These are the settings. There isn't any home button on the device. On the Supernote, there's no buttons at all. You actually have to use the slider, which is very nice and very innovative. You can see the slider actually offers one more thing. If you see some of the staining in the background, this is one of the only devices that you can trigger a full refresh on any screen without any software integrated buttons. It's all hardware. You just swipe up on the sidebar, this patented sidebar that only they use, and it refreshes the screen. Swiping down opens up your menu, much like the Fujitsu. You get recent document, note, summary, mostly the same on here as well. Calendar, schedules, imports from ScanSnap. That is a little scanning device that only Fujitsu uses. If you don't live in Japan, it's not that useful to you, and you get your notes and documents all the same. But for now, what we're going to do is look at a PDF. And why we look at PDFs is because these are both 10.3-inch devices and some of the biggest devices in the e-reader world, just shy of the 13.3-inch realm. Now, the Supernote can write right away, and you can get rid of the sidebar by sliding like that. You can even double tap the screen to completely get rid of all UI elements. Single tapping will not bring it back, only a double tap will bring everything back. The Fujitsu as well can do all of the same things. You can start writing right away. You tap in the center and you have some stuff up top. We are going to save that till the note-taking segment because most of that is the same. Same on the Supernote. You can do fairly quick page turns. Now, it's not the quickest we've seen in the e-reader world, but they are responsive to some degree. Now, remember, these aren't Android powerhouses, these devices. Although this is running a skinned version of Android, these are note-taking devices first and foremost. So you're going to be losing out on some stuff like no pinching zooming on the Supernote. You do have pinch and zoom on the Fujitsu, but there's no mini map or anything, so you won't really know where you are. Although the navigation is quite nice, the Supernote is lacking a little bit of features when it comes to changing the PDF experience to your own. The Fujitsu gives you a little bit more flexibility, but is a little light on the note-taking options, which we will show you right now. We'll start on the Supernote. It has quite a bit of options. Now you can choose 3 different pens. You have pencil, pen, and marker. Marker is very thick lines, and we'll show you right now you have different colors. You actually have light gray, you have gray, and you have black, and all of these will show up respectively on the screen, so you won't have to wait till you export to see any of the colors or whatever the case may be. You also have pressure sensitivity in the ink pen here, so you can make very nice hairlines or you can make very thick bleeds, and this is a pressure sensitivity pen with over 4,000 levels of pressure sensitivity, so you do have the ability to make very nice lines. You do have eraser as well. You can do stroke eraser, you can do area erase, or you can erase everything. Now, I must note, as we said earlier, there's no erase button on this pen, so you will have to go here every single time you want to do any erasing. You see, like that. You do have the ability to make very thin lines, extremely thin hairlines, and this thing does feel amazing. What Supernote has done, and it's not secret, they have put a rubber screen protector from factory over the top layer of the device. This reduces the amount of wear on the pen nib, although you don't have to replace this anyways, but it also gives you that very nice feel. It gives you that good resistance, good amount of torque, and a little bit of impact. So when you push down, it kind of sinks into the screen ever so slightly. All of this is little minuscule, tiny little details that make the note-taking experience so good on this device. Now, remember, you have to go back to this erase every single time, but that is a small price to pay for the note-taking quality. You also have area select, so you can select that, you can move it around, you can stamp it, you can paste it, you can duplicate what you've done, create new notes, you can press back, you can get rid of the sidebar entirely, and you can do that double tap to get rid of all of the elements on the screen, so you have an undistracted, completely bare landscape portrait page where you can do all of your notes. The Fujitsu is far lighter on the options. The pen doesn't even have pressure sensitivity, but we have had a lot of different note-taking devices. This device has the best pen nib to paper feel of any device. It doesn't have any screen protector or anything over the screen. It's a raw screen. It's not a glass screen either. It's a flexible e-ink display. You're getting that perfect amount of torque. You get a good vibration through the pen using the stock carbon nibs. They do wear down quickly, but it is very high quality, and mistakes can be reverted very quickly. You can actually just use the erase tool and it erases right away. So if you've just drawn something like that, you just erase that and away you go. You can make all your corrections. They also allow you to do the capacitive pinch and zoom with your left hand, and you can do all of your notes with your right hand, or obviously the other way around if you're left-handed. Now the beauty of this is because it doesn't have pressure sensitivity, you can actually zoom in upwards of thousands of percent and make these tiny little details that you would not have been able to make on any device. And then when you zoom out, you're left with the incredibly high level of detail that you could not achieve with pressure sensitivity. Look at that detail right there. Now, why I'm saying this is light on options is because it's incredibly light on options. You don't have any pens, you don't have any pencils, there's no markers. You do have colors though. So if we go to the biggest color here, you will see that is black on the screen, or blue when you export it. The red will be gray on the screen, and it will turn into red when you export it. So if you're doing documents, you go like that, and you're grading papers, those will all be red. Then you go over to blue and you sign your special document, and away you go, it's written in blue. You also have eraser size and pen thicknesses. You can do an area zoom, and this actually eliminates the pinch and zoom. You can select an area like that and then make your detailed notes like that, and you can exit out. There is one more thing you can do. You can go down here to area selection, and when you go down to area selection, you can select a certain range of what you like. You can copy, you can paste it. You can go up here to the clipboard, and it says tap the location where you want to paste it. You click done. You've just duplicated what you did, just like you did on the Supernote. Something they both have, because they don't have Android apps preloaded onto the device or the ability to sideload apps in, is they have their own scheduler apps, and you can find them respectively under schedule, or you can go down here to calendar. They both have these because you need to be able to take your notes and make sure you keep up with your scheduling. They are both interactive as well. You can click on the individual months, you can click on the day, you can make your notes, and you can go back. You can even use on the Fujitsu the highlight button, and when you use the highlight button, you can actually go and highlight any field of text you see on the screen. You can highlight it up to 11 times, and it just gets darker and darker each time you do it. It's all very quick too. You can't do the highlight function on the Supernote because it doesn't have the highlight button, but when you do click on a day, you go into the respective day, like so, and you can actually start writing. So if you go 10 o'clock, Peter, you go back, it'll actually save it right there. It'll say 10 o'clock because I wrote that. So it does have a very good handwriting recognition, which unfortunately the Fujitsu does not have. And again, this is all interactable. You can go like that. You can sort by week. You can sort by month, and it does give you the ability to see your notes on your little preview thumbnail as well. You can write over the entire thing as well if you'd like to do that. So it does give you the option to both be interactable in their own regard and as just a flat PDF in their own regard. The Supernote's handwriting recognition goes a little bit further, and you can actually do smart writing. So as you type things out with your finger, or you write things out with your finger, it starts to react and figure out what you're drawing from there. You can actually export everything you've written as well. And you do have English, Chinese, and Japanese because the Ratta Supernote is primarily a little coalition between China and Japan. That's why their presence is so big in those two particular countries. The Fujitsu is only in Japan, but they don't have the ability to do any sort of handwriting recognition. For not running Android in the conventional form, for not having any applications or the ability to sideload in APKs, these two devices represent some of the best note-taking feel on the market and have constantly been ranked either number 1 or 2 for note-taking feel by Goody Reader ourselves. And we sell everything from Onyx to Boyu to Supernote to everything, so these guys truly do represent some of the best writing feel on the market, and they are one-trick ponies. They just do note-taking, and to a lesser extent, calendar and scheduling. But they are note-taking centric, and these guys do it best. If you guys have any other questions on the Fujitsu Quaderno or the Supernote A5, or you want to see any other videos, check out our YouTube channel at youtube.com/goodyreader. And for another great comparison and a face-off Friday for goodyreader.com, this is Peter.